Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday, the 9th of September, 2025. I hope you are all safe and healthy. Hope you had a nice weekend. Hope your family's safe and healthy and that you had a nice weekend and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the area of health, trying their best to help people get healthy and be better and save lives with first responders who risk their lives to save lives also. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage to keep our places clean and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Those helping the people that are victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, profiteers, and the perverts that create these industries. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, and military veterans homeless in the United States of America. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Also, happy birthday, Deuce. Happy birthday, Deuce. Yes. All right, so today, class is in session. Real quick, we have a perfect example of, for Knicks fans paying attention, why Ian Begley and Shams are the only two you listen to, and everybody else is full of crap. So, Mark Stein reported that Ben Simmons turned down the Knicks vet minimum contract offer. It was also picked up, that same BS was picked up by NBC Sports. Decline, and then Bleacher Report, and then it goes on and on. Everybody's writing that Ben Simmons passed on the Knicks offer. So it makes it look like the Knicks tried to sign him and he didn't want to come to New York. And of course, the follow-up with the incompetent Knicks dialogue narrative will follow. But listen now. So all of these reporters of Ben Simmons passed on the Knicks offer, declined the Knicks offer, and the like. Let's look at what Ian Begley said. And I'm going to put it in the description box. Ian Begley, Knicks have had dialogue with free agent Ben Simmons over the course of the offseason and certainly have had interest in him, but club has never made a formal offer to Simmons. Let's say that again. Club has never made a formal offer to Simmons. So the Knicks never made an offer, but he rejected an offer the Knicks never made. Somebody's lying. And I get the feeling it's not Ian Begley. But this is an example. All over the media report today, I'm looking at Yahoo Sports, Bleacher Report, Newsweek, all of them. And what happens is one of them picks up the story from a guy like Stein, who they think is legit, who I think is full of crap. One of them picks up the story from him, and then everybody runs with it. And then it goes from Mark Stein to league sources. Whereas Ian Begley is saying, who is the closest thing you could get to a real Knicks insider, the Knicks never made a formal offer. What's the difference? It's very petty, actually. It's like, I broke up with her, she ain't break up with me. That's what that is. No, she ain't break up with me, I broke up with her. Or he ain't break up with me, I broke up with him. That's what this is. So to save face, Ben Simmons' agents, because nobody wanted him, put this out. To save face. Okay? It sounds to me the boy is finished. Now, I'm not saying finished for good. I won't say that. And the reason I won't, because he is 28, 29 years old, I just feel like he needs to go back to Australia, where he's from, and maybe regroup, start over, anything he needs to do to get his mind and his body regenerated. It just ain't happening for him here. So he can do that, then come back when he's 30 maybe, and then try again. That's what I think. Because the boy does have talent. It's all in his head. For you to be 6'10" and afraid to take a layup, I mean, come on. I'm not even expecting him to shoot 15-foot jump shots. I'm talking about he can't even take a layup. Okay, he's 6'10". So that's mental. That's mental. And I think a lot of his problem is mental. So, yeah, go on wherever you got to go. Get your, see if you can get yourself together, have a couple of years back in the league, and redeem your reputation, which is in shambles right now. If the Knicks were to offer him a contract, it would be a non-guaranteed deal. And that's probably, because if you remember, that's what Shamet got last year. Shamet's initial deal with the Knicks was non-guaranteed. That helps the Knicks cap-wise. Then later in the season, they brought him on a fully guaranteed deal after his shoulder healed. Probably for different reasons. Number one, risk factor. Simmons would probably get a similar situation, a non-guaranteed contract, and he'd have to earn the guarantee by mid-season, or he'd be cut. And yeah, that's where he was reduced to at this point. So yeah. The Knicks never made a formal offer. Let me say it again, because of all the people you're going to be hearing this all over the place. And I'm going to get people saying, I heard the Knicks made off. No, they didn't make an offer. They weren't interested. They talked to him. And they talked to everybody. Y'all know the Don. He talks to everybody. That don't mean he's making an offer to everybody. That don't mean he's really going to sign everybody. Now, at the end of Ian Begley's statement, he says, Landry Shamet, Malcolm Brogdon among those on the New York Knicks radar for its lone roster spot. And of course, as you know, we're pulling for Shamet, right? And I'd like to see DeLon Wright name come up, because he will get snatched up by another team on the vet minimum. He fits that veteran leadership situation that you need. Somebody could step in and start at a moment's notice and perform on both ends. He fits. So Landry Shamet fits, DeLon Wright fits. So we'll see how this works out at the close. And also, I have to take into consideration that now that Mike Brown is the head coach, he probably has a say in personnel decisions. He probably does. Just like Tibbs had a say in personnel decisions. But as also with Tibbs, sometimes the front office does what they think is best, coach or not, as was the case with Evan Fournier, as was the case with Kemba Walker. But you get, or Cam Reddish, you get a guy that fits Tibbs like a Josh Hart, right? You get a guy like that, somebody that Tibbs would love, somebody that Tibbs puts his stamp of approval on, like a Deuce McBride. You get somebody that he puts his, now you got a Tibbs type player. Well, I don't even know, as I mentioned before, what Mike Brown type of player looks like. I don't know what he looks like. So, but I have a feeling that, like, I'm wondering why Malcolm Brogdon's name keeps coming up. The all Anthony Ambulance team. I'm wondering why his name keeps coming up, but I got to figure it's due to Mike Brown. So that's why he might be a possibility. But Landry Shamet is the guy we really should have back. But we'll see. We'll see how this works out. Also, and I don't know how true this is, but I do like the sound of it, because it is the same BS media. I hate that. I read in the same BS media. It was NBC Sports that Precious Achiuwa is talking to the Miami Heat, and that the Miami Heat are interested in bringing him on board. And that makes sense. And this is the thing. Somebody would say, well, somebody's going to say, why didn't the Knicks re-sign him instead of Yabusele? I think we need to wait and see what the number is. How much money is he going to get? If you see Precious Achiuwa get something like part of the MLE, which the Miami has, the non-taxpayer, $14 million, I think it's $14 million MLE available. So if you see Achiuwa get something north of the $6 million, $5.7 million that Yabusele got, then you understand why he didn't sign with the Knicks. Okay, then you understand, because he's looking for more money. And it makes sense because Miami drafted him. And they traded him because they were going all in for Kyle Lowry at the time. They had went and pegged Kyle Lowry as like a final piece to another chip. So they went all in and they traded Precious Achiuwa and Gorgic, Petrovic, Gorgic, whatever his name was. They traded another foreign player that was pretty good, tough dude, to Raptors to get Kyle Lowry. So that's why it was one of them you got to bring ass to get ass situations. So that's why he left Miami. But he would have been perfect. I like him in Miami's culture. He fits the culture, of Miami, that tough, defensive-minded culture. And so, yeah, I hope he lands in Miami. That would be nice. We'll see. The ongoing discussions, we'll see. But anyway, yeah, that's the BS for today. Y'all enjoy your Tuesday. So